Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well. It is another bargain part exchange video. You may have spotted this in the previous video. Quite a smart little car, bit of a weird little car, but I think it's all right. I think we'll do well out of it. So let's have a quick check around it and then we'll get it out on the road. Here is our Audi A3 convertible. What a beauty, look at that. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about hatchback and saloon convertibles, but I don't know, it's not, well, it's quite offensive from the back actually. It doesn't look great, does it? But, I don't know. I'm certainly not complaining for what I paid, which was £800. I think we won't go too far wrong with this. So first things that jump out, we've got some hideous debadged grille on the front. Why people do that, I don't really know. It's an Audi, it's a premium brand. Why do you want to hide that? Are you trying to make it look like it's a better brand? I don't really get it. It's not like it's a Skoda and you want to take the badge off because it might look like an Audi. No, it's an Audi, just leave the badge on. This looks stupid, it looks rubbish. And we're also missing a grille down here, which hopefully should be quite a cheap little acquisition, but we'll have a little look on eBay in a minute. We've got, these must be 18-inch alloy wheels, I reckon. Let's have a look. I'm pretty certain these would not have been the original alloy wheels for this car. They come off an A4 actually. So yeah, they're 18s with the little disc brakes inside. Good tyres on it though. Good tyres on there. Wants a good clean. It's hard to tell whether that is scratches or dirt, but as you can probably see, these are scratches. Nothing that wouldn't polish out though, so before the end of the video we'll give this a good clean up and see how it comes out. Same sort of story around this side. It's all in pretty good nick really. Good tyre. What have we got? Auto Grip, whoever they are. Looking at it though, it looks like we've got auto grips all the way around. No, sorry, I take that back. This is an auto green. Wing and bumper not fitting amazingly well there, but like I say, 800 quid on the whole, that's pretty tidy, and I think that's going to clean up pretty nicely. It'd be interesting to see how much, you know, a new grille is. I wonder if you just get an Audi badge and stick it on there. Even zip tie on, it's going to look better than that. But then again, some people will like that, so will it really matter? I don't know, but I certainly don't like it. Let's have a little look inside. We have this horrible sort of anodized red key cover thing on here, which I won't take off at the moment, but got a standard Audi key in there. Everything seems to work. Lock, unlock, boot. Will it pop the boot? Yep. So, how much boot space do we have with the roof down? Actually, very decent, isn't it? Look at that, it's just essentially almost a normal hatchback size boot really. It's not intruding that much. We've got a spare wheel. Bit of moisture there by the looks of it. Possibly coming in from the boot seal or something. I imagine we've had some electrical issues there at some point. But yeah, that's not bad at all, and obviously it's got a hard top, so it's not like one of those boots where you have to put a divider down if you ever want the roof to go down. It looks as though this should just go down at any time and you don't have to muck around with sliders and not being able to get your luggage in because you want to be able to put the roof down. So, you know, that is a plus. So we've got a pretty squeaky door hinge with a clunky check strap, and we are full of rubbish, grime, all sorts of crap, fag packets. There's potential to have a phone, what's it in there, but we don't have one. But that aside, on the plus side, we've got a nice cream leather interior, which is in pretty good condition considering the mileage we'll get to in a minute. Not too bad. Back seats look reasonably comfortable actually. I'll slide the previous owner's business cards out of the way so we can't see those. This is going to come up pretty well, you know, for a good clean up. So, plus points. We have got climate control. We've got heated seats. It's leather. We've got cruise control. We've got steering wheel controls. Got daytime running lights. It's pretty well equipped, really. It's electric roof. It's not manual, which you would expect, but you know, it's not always the case. MX-5s, for example. Some of those are still manual. Wonder what we've got in the way of service history. Here's our service book. Let's have a look. So it's actually not bad history at all, considering we could have had none. We've got 2 Audi stamps there, which is 16,000, 19,000, another one at 30, another one at 40, and then have we got a gap? Yeah, we've got a gap there for some reason. Then 62, 78, 94, 107, which was 2018, and I think that is the last one that we have in the book here. So 4 or 5 years ago in the book was the last service. It may well have been its actual very last service. I don't think I've got anything more on that, and that was 107,000 miles. Well, this car now is on 147,000 miles, 172. I don't actually think it looks too bad for that sort of mileage, and it's a Audi diesel engine, so we'll probably keep going forever. As I say, we've got dual zone climate control, heated seats, CD radio. I assume we've got an auxiliary in somewhere, but I haven't found it yet. So maybe we're lying. Maybe this doesn't have one. What I'm going to do quickly is time how long it takes to put this roof up. So let's get the stopwatch out. 3, 2, 1, go. Here it comes. Well, it's about 12 seconds to do the roof, 15 seconds to get all the windows up as well, so not bad at all, really. Roof lining looks pretty good. It is a cream roof lining, which is probably never good on something like this, but actually not too bad. So if we hop outside, we can look at the condition of this fabric roof from the outside, and we'll have a look under the bonnet as well. And here we are. It's actually in pretty good nick. A few little marks where it's been stored away in the boot. Rear screen looks okay. That's to be expected. It wants a good clean. These never really get cleaned that well, so we'll get a nice kind of detergent on there, like a cleaning solution, and actually give it a really good scrub up. And then we'll probably put some kind of aquaphobic treatment on there. See where you get the marks and where it's been folded up for a long time. I wonder if that's been folded up and left in a garage or something with the roof open. But we will get that on there and give it a bit of water resistance again. Okay, here we go. So it's a little grubby in here, but not horrendously oily. Oil cap looks okay. Very black, but nice zones of anything else worth worrying about there. Let's have a quick check of the coolant. That actually looks really nice and clean and bright in there. On the whole, it doesn't look too bad in here at all. No real signs of oil leaks, rust, exhaust blows or anything like that. Sometimes with exhaust blows you'll see you got kind of soot everywhere, but nothing too much to worry about there, so that all looks good. So let's get the camera and let's take it out for a spin. So this is, I guess, a second generation part exchange. We took this in part exchange against a car that we took in part exchange against the car that we bought in. It'd be quite nice if we get a part exchange against this and you just keep that going. It's an easy way to get stock. There's usually decent margins in it. You get an opportunity to check the car out. If you can keep going like that, then you're going to be doing well. The only problem is, obviously, as your part exchanges go along, the value tends to drop down to the point where it's either stuff that you don't want or someone doesn't have a part exchange. So I don't imagine we'll get a part exchange on this one, but it would be nice if you could keep that part exchange game rolling along forever. So this is a 2-litre turbo diesel, so it should have a bit of poke really. And it does seem to go okay, no signs of smoke. Brakes feel pretty good, no juddering, and it's not pulling one way or the other. This car's got a reasonably long MOT, 100 days I think, so 3.5 months, something like that. It's quite a nice place to be in here, and it drives very much like an Audi A3, just a little bit of a wobbly Audi A3. It definitely doesn't feel as taut and stiff and pointed as a normal A3 hatchback. You can definitely feel there is a bit of flex. It's funny because I remember watching Top Gear and other car reviews for years and years and thinking, oh, they always talk about convertibles having flex on the chassis, and surely they can't feel that. Yes, you're not feeling it flex about like it's a piece of elastic, but you can definitely feel that the whole thing just feels a bit more vague. It's a bit bouncy, and it just doesn't feel as taut and rigid and planted as the hatchback version does. Something else is really weird with driving convertibles like this. I noticed it in the CLK 240 that I was driving the other day. The wind gets under your seatbelt here and just bounces it around, so you constantly feel like you're tapping you on the shoulder. It's a weird sensation. Our heated seats definitely seem to be working, which is very nice. I've just put the air conditioning on and that is icy cold, so we can turn that off again. Always nice to know that your aircon is working, there isn't a hole in the aircon rad or something like that. Oh, so you can actually put the roof up while you're driving. Oh, but you can't go too fast. What's the limit? We're down to 15 miles an hour. 15 miles an hour would seem to be the limit. Which is so much better than most convertibles where they need the handbrake to be locked on, to be out of gear, etc, etc, before it would even consider putting the roof up. So put it back up, you've still got a nice amount of headroom. It's not that noisy in here, there's just a few extra rattles, but that's pretty standard Cabrio stuff. Things aren't going to fit as well as they would in a rigid body. So if you're thinking about getting a convertible, you have to understand that A, the sound insulation to the outside road, especially on things like motorways, etc, is not going to be as good as if you're in a normal hatchback, saloon, etc. And the roof itself and windows within the roof, all that sort of stuff is going to rattle about, and the older it is, probably the worse all the seals are going to be, especially when it comes to rain, obviously, or trying to wash it. You're going to end up with water coming in and whatever. This one seems to be okay, but as I say, just something to look out for when you're thinking about a Cabrio. The older they get, the more likely you are to have these problems. On the whole, it actually seems like a really nice little car, and if you're in the market for one of these, it has the potential to be a nice one. If we were to sort the grille, or grills I should say, out, get those two bit done, clean it up, give it a good polish, and it would actually look quite a nice car. Yeah, it's reasonably high mileage, probably not for one of these engines, it's not the end of the world. What is this likely to be worth? I think it's probably about a £2.5 grand car. Maybe I'm reaching there a bit, maybe that's retail and top end of retail. Maybe we're going to get 2,000, but either way, I think it'd probably be worth a couple £100 of investment, and you would be doubling your money. The only thing that concerns me about this so far, while it's driven fine today, I have driven it on other occasions, and it seems to go into like a limp mode. We're not getting any lights on the dashboard, but I've got a feeling it's going to be a turbo actuator. It's getting stuck. So we'll get back, and I'm going to plug in the topped on RT Diag, and we'll see if it's coming up with any codes. Okay, so just doing an auto scan. We've got the VIN number. Okay, right, so what we want to do is a health report. And it's now going to scan every system that it checks in the car. We've already got one fault code for engine electronics. So that's it checked. So we've just got the one fault code, so let's check out what that is. Engine electronics, okay. What's the code? Overboost. PO23400, turbocharger, overboost condition. So again, leaning towards thinking that It's probably a boost actuator. So what I'm going to do, here's our whole report that it's just generated. I'm going to turn that into a PDF, which is super easy with this topped on. Let's share it via Bluetooth. Find my phone, which is here. Okay, so that's been sent to my phone, so we've got a record of what the issue was. And let's back out. We're going to clear those out, and it will recheck. Okay, so no more codes in there, not that we had any engine mounted lights on anyway. We can do a bit of research on that and find out exactly what parts we want to get for this. Right, so I have found the grille that we want for the fog light cover, fog light area where it would be, that's missing in our bumper. I decided I'm not going to change the grille. I'm just going to leave it as it is. If it really puts people off, then I can get one, but it seems like they're about 100 quid. I think even if we just got a badge for, say, 15 quid and stuck that on there, it would look 10 times better. So I thought I'd give you some of my top tips for scouring eBay when it comes to looking for parts like that. It's hard to know what wording to use. I think I put in like bumper trim, blah, blah, and all I could seem to find was like this. So the passenger side one, and I want the driver's side. So what I would tend to do is, this looks like a listing that they might have both sides, but you can't seem to find it. So just copy and paste that, changed it, and put an O instead of N for offside rather than near side. And look what I found. Up comes, clearly from the same people, £32.58. It's just a bit of a shame because it wouldn't come until Friday the 19th of May. As you can see, it's the 4th, so 15 days. I thought, that sounds rubbish. So my next top tip is come down to past all of the, you know, fitting information or whatever, come down item specifics, and there will quite often be the actual OEM part number, which we've got there. Copy and paste that, stick that back in, boom, £22.50. It'll be here in 3 days. Save yourself some money. Same item. Doesn't seem to come up in the searches. You know, I've searched for the same sort of thing, but just because of the wording on eBay, if you can find what you're looking for, but it's not going to come quick enough, or you think you want to check whether it's going to be cheaper, find that part number, stick it in the search bar and find out. So I'm going to get one of those on order. In the meantime, we'll get pictures of it. We've cleaned it up. I got Steph to quickly look at the turbo actuator. It was moving, but I'm not sure it was moving as freely as it should have been. So he's kind of freed it up a little bit. I hope I'm going to take it home, see how it drives. Fingers crossed that's sorted it. If not, it's not too expensive of a part. I looked at the figures on Auto Trader, and what I should have realised is it's a 1.6 diesel, not a 2 litre diesel, so apologies there, I'm sure someone will have pointed that out already. And the retail valuation on it is £3,091 on 147,000 miles, and it's got a 93 out of 100 rating. That means for our area, it is at 93% desirable, I guess is how you would word it. So it should sell fairly quickly. Maybe we stick it up for 2.5. And then if we spend, let's say, worst case scenario, with this £22 part, a service, let's say 100 quid all in, and if we do need a turbo actuator, another 100 quid, so it's going to owe us £1,000, sell it for 2.5. You don't have to be a mathematician genius to realise that it's a pretty decent little profit. So I'm not going to get that done in this video, but it will be getting done. It'll all be on order now. But let's go out and check out how nice our little A3 Cabrio is looking now. Look at that. Ignoring the little grille, doesn't it look 10 times better? It's actually got a bit of shine to it now. In fact, even with the watermarks on it, it still looks better. That's what happens when I clean a car. I just don't do a very good job. But I did give the roof a good scrub. So, yeah, it looks better. I'm never going to get to perfection. The wheels came up an awful lot better. They've actually got some gloss to them now. The whole thing looks far more presentable. I might go over this with some quick detailer just to give it a final nice bit of shine. And then inside, haven't gone crazy wet vac in the carpets or anything like that, but it is 10 times more presentable now. Everything just looks fresh. It's going to look good in pictures. And we can get some pictures, make people aware that that's going to be in, try and get it sold, and try and get a few quid back in, and keep going. This is the way it works. Just keep churning them over. It's a numbers game. But the good news on that front is that A, it keeps me busy, which I enjoy, and B, you get to see lots of content of weird and wonderful cars that I've bought. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please do give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please do subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and other than that, I will see you next time.